G'day.
How's your body language now after saying that?
I'm kind of like levitating.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm here, and and it's true. There's no better place I wish to be on a Thursday morning.
Oh, that's great. We love having you. Our listeners do as well, get some great feedback after our chats.
I know, and that's what keeps us going, isn't it?
It's important, isn't it? You're doing a lovely thing for the community. Thank you very much, by the way.
Well, I think we are in this show that we enjoy doing it, and I think people can tell that, when you can just tell when someone enjoys doing it and it just becomes more authentic. And I'm glad that people pick up on that because, we both give our time for this and
especially you.
It's one of the things that you need, that balance in life where you need a bit of work, a bit of leisure to play. And these little hobbies are great. I love them.
They are, aren't they? Because you also give up some time going to Sydney on Fridays, don't you?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
And, it pays off, philanthropy pays off.
Yeah, it makes
when you
feel
give,
good.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't believe it when I was a younger man.
Yeah.
The more you give, the more you get back. And I go, oh, yeah, right. And you know what? It's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Fulfilling.
Yeah, and you might not get back exactly what you give, but you get it sometimes in a different way and probably better even.
And when you've helped somebody as well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Must be, as a psychologist.
It is a lovely feeling because we all have to live, of course, and so we have to charge for what we do. But when you get the feedback that what you've done worked, it just keeps you going. And that's why, when the listeners say they enjoy...
and they learn something.
Yeah, it just keeps you going.
Yeah, that's right. And body language, we're chatting about that. I suppose you get a lot of that in your psychology, in your counselling as well. Like you speak to people about body language, do you?
100%. It's such a fascinating topic, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like an unspoken... what do you call it? Unspoken communication, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's very important because we can tell, when you can actually, when you can read people from afar, you can't hear what they're saying, but you know what's happening.
Yeah.
If they're fighting, if they're good with each other.
If they're happy or not.
That's right. Yeah, you can just, there's been photographs. Photos are a bit mean because it's just a snapshot. Maybe sometimes we look too much into photographs. It's just a moment, but maybe 2 seconds after they looked happy. So, they do that a lot with celebrities. They give someone a look, but maybe they just happen to. So you can just caption this photo. But you do get a big sense on how someone's coming across just by watching how their posture is, what they're doing with their arms, with a lot of things. And there's people that specialise in that stuff.
There is, yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
It is because it's an unconscious thing. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and
we can't help it.
Yeah, we can't help it. We don't even probably consciously know that we're actually reading someone as well.
Yeah.
It just goes straight into our brains, doesn't it?
That's really? Right. People that are very good at interviewing individuals for certain situations, sometimes in criminal matters and so forth, they're trained not only to listen to what they're saying, but what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
if they're lying,
it's very difficult to try to pretend you're not lying with your body. You can say a lot of things, but the body gives you away. And there's a lot of people very good at actually masking that. But in the end, over time, someone that knows how to read that person will
wear them down.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of, is it to do with eye contact, I suppose, isn't it?
It is.
Well, lying, if you look away.
That's right. There's little tricks. I mean, generally, if you're saying something that's not true, people tend to look downwards to the left.
Okay. I wonder why the left and not the right.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Sort of the brain.
It's just in general, It's one of those things that we all share certain traits, and sometimes we start searching for what actually we're lying about, because we want to keep it consistent. So it's, in a way, it's a bit of a defense where you stop that eye contact because you're trying to cover for the fact you're lying, but it actually makes it worse. But look, there's a lot of other things that we look at when we with body language, and especially when someone's coming across as confident, what they do with their arms, with their hands.
Posture.
Their posture, whether they take a step forward or backwards. All these things are very important.
And open. Their body's open or closed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Body open or closed. If people are sitting down, then what they're doing with their arms is extremely important. I tend to look at that as soon as someone walks into my office.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are anxious, they tend to sit but lean forward.
Do they?
They just can't sit back and relax. And I say to them, look, take a deep breath and just let your body sink into the seat and just relax. There's 4 parts that are very important in the body. The forehead, the shoulders, fingers and toes. Just allow those 4 parts to relax, because sometimes we're frowning or we're doing things that we don't even realize. Yeah. And that helps a lot for people to relax. So it's one of those things that once the body starts, then the mind actually switches in and actually follows that. And that's why things like meditation, it's very important if you want to keep the mind still, to keep the body still. And they give the analogy of a glass with water. If you want to keep the water from not moving, you've got to keep the glass still. And so all those little things are fascinating, but body language is still something we're still working on.
Yeah, and for job interviews, very important.
It's probably the most important thing, because everyone knows what you're going to say.
Yes.
You're going to sell yourself, you're going to say the right things, you're going to be polite, but there's little things that are fantastic that to do. And I give...
Not crossing your arms.
Not crossing your
legs.
There's a couple of things I tell people. If you do these 2 things, you're going to have an advantage in a job
interview. What are they?
You want to hear them?
I do. Everyone does.
These are 2 free...
2 free tips from Carlos.
For job interviews. One is... very, very important when you walk in to make eye contact and greet every single person, because there's usually 3. Because a lot of people go hello to all, but you greet each person at a time, and you maybe shake their hand, or you introduce yourself individually to that person. That person will tell you their name back, and you respond with their name. Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith, or Gary, or whatever they decide to use. Yeah. Because now there's that personal connection. It's an individual, and you have that personal connection with Gary now. It's not just a panel. And the other thing, which is very, very important, I don't wear a watch, but if you go to a job interview, wear a watch.
Why
a wristwatch.
So you're on time.
Well, you're always on time, of course. That's a no-brainer. You've got to be there very early.
Yeah, they think you're on time all the time.
No, but what you do is, once they sit down, you take a seat, and they will say to you, well, thank you for coming, and say, any questions to start off with? You say, yes, I've got 1 question. How long is the interview and how many questions? Because I'd like to know how many minutes I have to answer each question. And when they say, well, it's 30-minute interview and the 6th question, and then you say, I say that's 5 minutes per question. Okay, no worries. And you take your wristwatch off, you place it in front of you, and you say, okay, I just want to make sure I keep to my time. And now they know, this person's got time management skills.
Yes.
The fact that you take the wristwatch off and you place it in front of you, you say, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes, already you're on top.
That's amazing, Carlos. Thanks
and that
for
body language
that.
of that confidence of taking your wristwatch off and making sure that time, you know that their time is precious and you're not going to waste it.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. That's really great to know, isn't it?
It's a wonderful trick. People have done it, and they said that they felt $1 million when they've done it. Yeah. Because you just feel good.
You would.
You're in control of the interview, not them.
Yeah.
You are in control of the interview.
Very good.
Yep.
And that'd raise you above everyone else, really.
No one else is going to do that.
No.
Although maybe a lot of people are now, because I've given it away.
You just told us. Job interviews will all change now, won't they?
Yeah, and if you're interviewing someone that does that, that greets individually someone and is polite, is punctual, and then does that with their wife, you think, hang on, this is the type of person I want to work with.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Because once you get to the interview, now it's all about personality.
Yes.
Everyone that's at that interview has the qualifications, the skills, and the experience to get the job. Now the people are looking for who they want to work with.
That's really
And so
true.
they're going to look at you're just basically selling yourself as an individual now.
Yeah.
You've already sold yourself as vocationally, employment-wise. Now you've got to sell yourself as an individual. You're confident, you're polite, you're punctual, you respect other people, and that's the person I want to work with.
I think that's one of the best tips you've given us.
I think it's very important.
One of them. There's many.
Yeah. I say to a lot of people in job interview, you do those two things, you're already above the rest.
Yeah.
And there's a few other little things, but it's just one of the. It's incredible how body language and non-verbal communication affects us.
That's right. Who would have thought? We're talking about body language and we get a tip about a job interview. Thank you, Carlos.
Well, you know me, I always like using philosophy and psychology to make it practical in our life.
Everyday life.
That's right.
Very good. Thanks for coming in. Will we talk about it next time, continue about body language?
I think so, because there's a few things that we want to add, I think.
Okay, and a great song you've chosen today, Carlos Camacho, Psychologist.
Yeah, O&J, eh?
Yeah, O&J. Great song.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to love this song. Such a great beat, and it was a little bit different for Olivia, this type of song. I thought, wow, she's going to be poppy. I love it.
Yeah, physical.